Hi, welcome to Marlene at Home. And I'm Marlene from the Carroll County Public Library North Carroll branch. And today we're going to talk about holiday celebrations. But first, I have to give you a little heads up. This is going to be the last Marlene at Home episode for a while. After 70 or almost 70 weekly episodes, I'm going to take a break. May there be more Marlene at Home programs in the future. Maybe a short series every once in a while, maybe some singular programs. I haven't thought that all out. But after 70 weeks in a row, I think it's time for a break. I just want to thank the people that have watched worldwide. It's been pretty amazing, the number of watchers that we've had. From South Africa, I heard from some dear friends that have been watching, to people that I work with and sit at a desk just a few feet apart from mine. I really want to thank my North Carroll Senior Center 2 book clubs that have been so faithful in supporting me with this and watching or asking me questions about my programs. That's been very special. The ages that watch my program amaze me. 90-plus-year-olds tell me how much they like it. I've heard that nursing homes like it. I hear from preteens. I had one preteen give me some suggestions of future program ideas. So I have just been amazed. I've heard from family that have watched it, friends that have watched it from near and far, people I haven't heard from for years. I just can't thank you. There's some of you that have been faithful, and I don't think you've missed a week. I want to say thank you very much to all the North Carroll staff. You have no idea how much work it takes to put these kind of library programs on. So my own branch staff has been great help to me. The IT department over at the library headquarters could never have done it without them helping me. We ran into several technological snags during the last year and a quarter, and they've been wonderful. And the communications department, getting all this out to the public and helping just get all the pieces together. There's so many things about doing programs like this that COVID just made librarians change the way they did their jobs. Instead of people coming into the branch for programs, for adult programs, it's us going out to people all over the world in new ways with online programming. So I can't thank you enough. And last but definitely not least is the man behind the camera. My husband, neither one of us have had any experience in filming, and my husband, who I've tried many times to get on this side of the camera, he has filmed every program. He has been up late at night, early in the morning, in the middle of football games, right now in the middle of his cup of coffee. I can't thank him enough, and I love him to the moon and back. So honey, thank you. I know you're not going to like this, but I wanted to say it. So now back to holiday celebrations. I tried to think of all the parts of a holiday. I'm a Christian, and so my holiday celebrations might be a little different than yours, but I think there's also a lot of similarities. And so I just tried to write down all the things that I'm involved in the month of December, or even a little before and after, about how to celebrate a holiday. One of the first things I start with is decorating, because you know that's near and dear to my heart. And Christmas and snow and winter, but especially Christmas, is my favorite time of the year. Started as a child, only has intensified growing up. Anyway, it's Thanksgiving as I'm taping this, Thanksgiving weekend. Anyway, I'm only halfway decorated, so I think I will include some photos from this year of what's done, but then some photos of other years when the house was completed. So right now it's halfway done and halfway messy, but I'm sure your house is like that at this time of year too. So another part of holiday celebrations is shopping. I love the hustle and bustle of Good Friday shopping. I don't like to shop alone, but I love it being with my sister or friends, or I love hearing the music playing and just that hustle and bustle. Many of us have reverted to online shopping, and so then there's also the frustration sometimes of technology. Someone was just telling me they had to put their order in 3 or 4 times until it finally submitted. I think many of us are on trying to make those orders. Then the worry of whether it's going to arrive on time and will it fit? Is it the one they wanted? Does it have to be returned? That kind of thing. So shopping. Baking, my boys love to come and make Christmas cookies or little special treats. So baking is a big part of holiday celebrations for me. Christmas cards, many Christmas cards. I've got to cut this list, but every year, next year, I'm going to cut it. I always do a Christmas letter. That's pretty labor intensive too. Entertaining, my favorite part. Having family in. They'll all be home this Christmas. Friends, having neighbors in. You never know, unknown guests. I always love to have people I've never met before. Somehow things happen, somebody brings somebody with them, and that's always a special part of a holiday. Parties. They could be parties you have at your home, inviting your neighbors or friends in. It could be a work party. It could be a church party. There could be gift exchanges, or the white, what do they call that? The white elephant gift. And I know at the library we've had some memorable gifts at our gift exchange. Then there's special programs, music programs at schools, community events, concerts, all kinds of things. White Christmas. We're talking about going to see White Christmas again in our family. Special programs at churches. And so many special things to go to. So look around. Don't miss those kind of things. Library programs, I don't want to forget to mention that. And also, we're often looking for family activities that we can do together. So concerts the kids would enjoy as well as adults. But if you don't have children, go to a concert that you would really enjoy at this time of year. Other years we've taken trolley rides or train rides, light displays, all kinds of fun things. Hershey Park with their Christmas lights and the park itself. And there's something just fun about all those lights and freezing and hot chocolate and all packing in a car. And so look for really fun family activities as well. Another family activity might be driving through a live nativity. That's a fun thing to do as a family and can be found at many area churches. Another big part of a holiday celebration for me, and I hope for you, is music. In your house, I like to play it and play it loud all throughout the house, especially when I'm cleaning. Could be going to a concert or in a program, as we've already mentioned. Another favorite of mine is going caroling. These are some great COVID Christmas ideas. Caroling outside. I know we as a family with our grandkids and daughter and son-in-law, we went to some older folks' home and stood out on their porch and caroled, and they're like, oh, you should come in, but we knew, no, we're not coming in. But it was a fun way to make someone's Christmas. A major part from the time, even before I was old enough to know, I was in church. And so church plays a major role in my Christmas. I love all the special parties. They can be fun kids' parties at Christmas time. They can be a puppet show related to Christmas, or family Christmas activities like a music concert where it's the adult church choir and the kids sing, their choir, teens are part of the Christmas story drama, and I love that kind of thing. But my very most favorite thing is a Christmas Eve candlelight service. I had never even been to one until after Paul became pastor at our first church. Matter of fact, growing up, my home church did a Christmas service every Christmas morning. We could open our stockings and that was it, go to church, and then we came home and opened gifts. But anyway, the first Christmas that Paul was a pastor, our church had their normal, before we were there, Christmas Eve services, and I loved it. I love the candlelight, I love the decorations, I love all the people that came and their extended families, and it was very special. As a pastor, since Paul and I hadn't been to Christmas Eve services, he was always in a conundrum. What do you do for a service on Christmas Eve of all ages and everybody expecting something really special, and they come dressed up in their Christmas finery? And so anyway, He started in his early years, it was just he and I, and he set up the platform kind of like a scene from our living room. He would take a wing chair or, that kind of thing. Pictures from our house were hung up on the wall. And it was the two of us, and we were singing and talking and playing my violin and whatever. And it grew. Then there were three of us. Then as a little toddler, Carrie was saying Bible verses she had memorized and singing little Christmas children's songs like, my favorite one is now slipping me. But anyway, I can't think of it. But anyway, then there were four of us. And so then we could do even more and more, and I love that. But Paul would always ask all the children in the audience towards the end of the service to come up after he was done speaking, and he would tell, or maybe before he was speaking sometimes, he would tell them a Christmas story, and they would all sit around, and it was always fun to watch and always fun to see pictures of people that captured that scene. And then he would give out candy, and the children loved that. Well, the adults did too, but they didn't get any. Anyway, my favorite part is when at the end of the service, everybody circles the sanctuary holding an individual candle, and we sing Christmas carols before we go home. Very special, and I'm so glad that first church introduced me, Christ Church introduced me to a Christmas Eve service. At our second church, beautiful Christmas Eve service, the decorating was always breathtaking. I would just come in and my heart would melt. But there was no Wenzel family program. My children were like, no way, Dad, by this stage of our life. But we still did. We sang, my oldest daughter and I, we were in a group playing, and we both would play our violins. The girls, both in different years, played piano. My younger daughter played flute. So Christmas Eve was very special in that way as well. Once again, Paul would call the kids all up and would read to them and give out candy. And by now he's doing virtual presentations up on a big screen above the children so that the adults could also see what was happening and what he was doing. Another favorite part of our family is coming home after Christmas Eve, and we would have a spread of appetizer type foods. Shrimp's always on the menu. And here in Maryland, one of the things all of our family always look forward to is a dear friend, Mrs. Miller, her homemade hot mustard and homemade cheese ball. But we had, if it was a good year for the hunters, we would have deer bologna. We'll see what happens this year. But a special family gathering. But for me, in all the hustle and bustle, I have to schedule time for quiet and for meditation. I just have to, I love to get a special book of devotions for the month. There's so many good ones out there, but some of my favorites are Paul Tripp's Christmas devotional, or I listen to John Piper's devotion every day online, and so he has a great Christmas devotional. But just taking my Bible and digging deep into that first Christmas story, I have to keep focused on what's the main reason for the season. It's not for my tree, it's not for my company, but it's for my heart. The reason of the season. Christmas is about gift giving, and that's a big part of Christmas, and I love that. But the greatest gift I ever got is when my Heavenly Father gave me a gift, and that was His Son, the Lord Jesus. And so that's my focus for this holiday and every holiday season, is to thank Him and be sharing with other people God's goodness to me, and I'm so blessed. So I hope this Christmas, whatever your faith is, I hope that you will take time to stop and think about the reason for your holiday celebration. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me at Marlene at Home. It has been a very special 70 episodes, and I can't thank you enough. So I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. Here's a family holiday celebration, but my daddy and my Papa Davis would soon be gone and not with us for any more Christmases. I love that doll. I was smiling in the last picture Not so happy at this Christmas with my sister. I don't know why. But there's some houses in the background that my dad made, all of the houses under our tree. And I enjoy having them at my house now. Cindy and I, with our dog Blackie, there in the corner. And another Christmas with our stepsister Linda. We're growing up. Here we are as teens. Look at that TV. A number of years later, my dad walking me down the aisle for my Christmas wedding. I was very blessed to have a second dad. And here we are with the wedding party. What a crew, what a Christmas. And here was my man and I under our Christmas tree. A number of Christmas Eves later, here's the music for the service at Christmas Eve at church. My oldest daughter on the right, and who would have thought she would marry my best friend, her son, on the left. It's amazing. And here we are, Joyce and I and some others playing again on another Christmas Eve, and here's a view of us playing from up in the balcony. One of my favorite views is a picture each year of the kids around our kitchen table. And our kids and grandkids surprised us one night at midnight, driving in from Cleveland. They arrived, we had dozed on the couch and we're a little bleary-eyed, and here they present us with Cooper, who you've seen in many episodes of Marlene at Home. And here's that same Christmas with all 5 grandchildren and Cooper. It's hard to get everybody looking our way. Here's our 3 Ohio grandchildren. And in our family room, here's our live tree. This is our kids' favorite grandkids, all their pictures and their things they've made. Makes it special. And then, of course, here's the king of the recliner chair. I tried to get him dressed up for a Christmas card, but he wouldn't keep still. Here's the Ohio kids again with Cooper. Cooper's visiting them right now. Here's the boys, my Carroll County boys, building a snowman. And come on into my house and take a look at some decorations from this year and in recent years. Welcome to my foyer. Here's my white house ornament tree. And here's my desk in the foyer. I just kind of love this desk and just a quiet space. Christmas trees from my youngest daughter's Christmas wedding. Some bright sparkle in a bowl of Christmas balls. And here's our living room, our big tree. I just love the sparkle and dazzle. Turn all the other lights off at the house. By our fireplace here, the stockings are all hung by the chimney with care, except for all the grandkids. They're hanging around on doors around the downstairs. Too many of us now to fit on the fireplace. And here's the view of my whole shelving above my fireplace, my violin with my favorite hymn book, the Worship and Service hymnal, and then the Buyer's Carols on the bottom shelf. They were made in the town of our first church, and a dear friend at my first church gave me a piece every Christmas. I love the view of the candles in the window with greens at Christmas, just very warm and inviting. Here's a picture of our large Christmas tree in our living room from our foyer up above, and looking down from that balcony. And on the other side, looking over, you see our foyer and our entranceway. And off of that is our dining room. And then one of my favorite things in the kitchen is this music box Christmas tree and the lights, and my kids love to play it. And here's my cameraman of 70 episodes, the man that I love. It was just so wonderful to work with him. And this was from a couple years ago, just before we were entertaining. And thanks again for joining me at Marlene at Home for all these 70 episodes. You were very special to make Marlene at Home like there was no place else in the world. And I'm sure you had other things to be doing. Thank you again for joining me. And while this 70-week episode is over, you may see Marlene at Home again for some short series here or there, or individual programs. I just don't know. But we'll see. Thanks again. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.